Well, thank you all for joining us for another opportunity to learn about the mission partners that HCO really enjoys connecting with and really enjoys the opportunity to spread God's kingdom further. And so today I have with me Barry and Laura from Blessings International. So thank you both for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
No problem. Barry, would you start out by introducing yourself to us?
Sure. I'm Barry. I'm the CEO here at Blessings International. Been here for almost 7 years already. And it's a great ministry, great place to get to come work.
Great. And Laura, how about you?
Yes, my name's Laura Berry, and I've been with Blessings for about 4.5 years, and my role is the Director of Business Development.
Fantastic. Well, again, thank you guys for joining us. Can you take a moment and just describe what is Blessings International?
Yeah, sure. So Blessings International, basically, we provide medicines for missions. That's our goal. But in doing that, we do a lot of other things too. We have in Haiti a orphanage clinic that we operate with in-country personnel, where they go to about 25 different orphanages every quarter. Provide care and treatment to all of the kids in those orphanages. We also provide a lot of medicine just throughout the world. I think our medicine went to a little over 100 countries last year. We serve about 3,000 mission teams each year that go. So a lot of different things that we go and do. We were founded based on that concept of providing medicine. Our founder went to Guatemala and had a really difficult time. This was back in 1981. And he had a really difficult time getting medicine to take on his trip. So he decided, I'm going to fix that. And here we are almost 40 years later, still doing that same thing.
Love it. Love it. Laura, did you want to add anything to that?
I think you did a terrific job.
Okay. Good answer. So describe for some ways that the HCO and Blessings has partnered in the past.
Yeah, we have had a terrific relationship with you guys. Such a joy to always work with you guys. And just the way that your ministry is able to not only go and touch the lives of the Haitians, but just in general, what you all do is part of our heart. We're passionate about providing quality medicines, as Barry mentioned, and we're extremely sensitive to the cultural needs within country. The uniqueness of Blessings and our platform is that we don't have a donated medicines in our inventory. Rather, we go out and we procure our inventory. Our donors help us to keep our medicine handling fees low. This model helps us to respond quickly to teams that want to go and serve with HCO, or perhaps during a disaster like we're in right now with this pandemic. It allows us, our model allows us to have that opportunity to ship medicines directly to Haiti so that there isn't a miss. As Barry mentioned in our previous conversation, there are folks that still have hypertension regardless of COVID being present. So we want to just continue to have those medicines available. So we effectively either prepare teams that are going to serve with HCO, or we're able to ship directly to the country in need. So we keep a robust inventory with a lot of specialty medicines, such as deworming medicines, anti-malarial medicines, et cetera. And we have an a la carte ordering system whereby your teams can pick and choose what they need to take to HCO. And we're happy to serve in any way. We're licensed in 48 states. That helps those physicians that are going to serve with HCO to understand that we're trying to protect your NGO status and the physician license. We carry, as I mentioned, a variety of medicines, but we also carry compounding kits. We also have a medication repackaging service whereby we can take a variety of medicines and repackage them into a 20, 30, 60, or 90-day count in both Creole or French for HCO. And lastly, I just want to touch on one other service that we have that we always love to make available for our folks that are serving with HCO, and that's this idea that you can receive both CME or CNE service as part of your service to HCO. So that mission trip with HCO can be counted as CME rather than PTO. And that really helps providers to go and serve and still receive their CME hours, but really do what they love. And that's utilizing the gifts that God's given them.
You know, I have to say, I really appreciate that program. I personally am not a clinician, but my entire career, the last 17 years, I worked in healthcare, and the individuals that I worked with, the clinicians, the physicians, different healthcare providers, they want to go on these mission trips. They want to be able to have that all around global medical experience. And when you all came up with the ability to use CME time and partnered, with the organization that you did to do that, I just think that that is a great opportunity and something that more individuals should take advantage of. And so when we have mobile medical teams or surgical teams that go, that's always one of the first things that we talk about is here's something that you can use in order to gain CMEs, in order to gain something that's going to improve upon your career and your profession here back home. So thank you all for doing that. So you mentioned a little bit about how COVID-19 has changed the way that you work in your organization, but can you touch on just a couple main points regarding how COVID-19 has changed what you do, some of the initiatives that you've taken, or some of the things that you have always done, maybe are doing a little bit differently or no longer doing?
Yeah, I'd say that the biggest thing that we're doing a little bit differently is international shipping. So we've been doing international shipping for the last few years, where we're shipping it directly to the country where the medicine's going to be used. But due to the costs, we had to have a threshold of a certain amount of the order to make it feasible.
Mm-hmm.
So knowing that people can't go, we lowered that threshold. So we wanted to figure out how can we help more. As Laura said, the people who are in country still have their chronic disease states that they need medicine for. And so if we could find a way to come in and help lower that threshold so that we could ship directly, then we're able to do that. So we've had some great partnerships with FedEx and with DHL that we've been able to create to give us some huge discounts to send smaller orders into the countries. And so now our threshold is only at $1,000. And that's very easily accomplished to get a lot of medicines into people. So we're doing that. We're also working a lot more, which probably doesn't necessarily relate to some of the HCO folks, but we're working a lot more with U.S. clinics. There's a lot of people here in the U.S. that are hurting right now because they've lost their jobs, maybe lost their insurance, or still struggling. And so we're seeing certainly an uptick from U.S. clinics that are seeing more patients. So we're working more closely with some U.S. clinics at this point, and hopefully we'll continue those relationships. And then lastly, we're working on developing partnerships with some other organizations to help create a telemedicine network, or not network, but a group of nonprofits that are interested in this. And certainly I think it's going to be a variety of different ways that it's handled, but just ultimately getting that concept out of and trying to help develop some of the talking points for how to do telemedicine, or at least some suggestions. Because again, without the ability to travel with so many borders closed, we want to try to help find a solution to help in-country personnel continue to work with the patients that they're seeing.
Yeah.
So those are a few of the ways that we've adapted a little.
Yeah. I love that. So it's really interesting to me, and we were talking a little bit beforehand, but I love the opportunity that trials bring. I love the opportunity that challenges create. And so I appreciate our partners whenever we take a look at some of the areas that we work. A lot of times the areas that we work seem like they're in constant crisis. It's one or the other. It's something that we're going through quite often. And I love to see the innovativeness that comes out of it. I love to see the partnerships. I love to see the creativity in order to do things in a different way, and yet still care and still serve and still help the least of these, always coming up with new ideas.
Yeah, I don't think any of us want to be in this crisis for sure,
No.
or any crisis for that matter, but it does make us take a step back and reevaluate what we're doing,
Yes.
how we're doing it, how we can maybe do it better. It's
Absolutely.
certainly, I know for me, and I think some of my staff would say, yes, you're right on, Barry. It's easy to be very comfortable in the
Yes.
position that you're in, and continue to work in that and try to find ways to do it a little better. But this has really forced us to go way beyond what we're used to, and really try to come up with some new and unique opportunities and solutions. So
Absolutely.
we'll get through it, and hopefully we'll come out better.
Yes. It's made us step out of our boat, right? Made us step out of our comfort zone. And so I was talking with somebody the other day, and they said, they asked me the same question: how has COVID changed HCO? And my response to them was, it has changed our how, but it has not changed our why. We are still called to serve. And so while the way that we do it looks different, why we do it will remain the same. So I completely agree. So for those individuals, the churches or the organizations that want to partner with Blessings, what are some ways that they can do that? So they're not going on mission trips, but what are some of the ways that they can partner with Blessings?
Laura, I'll let you take this one. I've already talked some.
Oh, yeah. Well, and I think Barry mentioned the direct shipments, and just trying to be innovative at this moment for those who have that desire to be in country with those groups and those individuals that they're used to ministering alongside, having the opportunity to look at their needs, listen to their needs. And one way Blessings can assist is by providing those direct shipments.
Mm-hmm.
So many of our partners that have remained behind, either they're local or they're maybe long-term medical missionaries. We want to serve them and be mindful of what their needs are for those ongoing chronic illnesses. So direct shipments is one way that folks can come to us and let us know what they need in country, and Blessings will put those materials together, those products together, and ship directly to the country. And then I think, probably one of the most obvious ways for just folks in general to partner with us is just to, just to consider ways to potentially donate to Blessings for our ongoing relief for COVID-19 supportive care measures. As Barry mentioned, we've been doing a lot more with U.S. charitable care clinics, and we've seen about a 45% increase in that patient population growth because more and more folks are unemployed, sadly, because of the pandemic. And so, what we do with the donations that we receive is we put them right back out there in medicines for those folks that are ministering, truly right here in our own backyard and abroad.
Yeah, and I think the other thing I would add is, if in their prayer time, if they could think of Blessings, certainly
yes.
pray for it as we're all going through this. And our staff is just like so many others. They have concerns about they and their families, and concerns about how do we continue to reach the vulnerable that we've been trying to reach, and help partner with those organizations that are trying to reach them as well. So just keep us in your prayers.
Absolutely. Well, guys, I thank you so much for your time today. I thank you so much for the fact that you are so willing to be conduits for God's work. So I appreciate your partnership. I always appreciate seeing you guys, appreciate talking with you, and hope that we can get together in person one day soon. So take care. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure working with you all at HCO. We appreciate you all.
Thank you.